looks like that, but okay, let's do this.
Whatever, girl. Okay, guys, this is Kaylee. I'm really excited to have her on the team because she's actually like, are you 18 or 19? 18. Yeah, I celebrate 19. Kaylee is the youngest distributor that I have on the team, and she was kicking booty her first week already. So age is nothing but a number. So, I want you guys to hear Kaylee's story and understand that having no time is not an excuse, especially when you're in college and you're a freshman and trying to get used to all that while getting used to the business. So, could you tell us a little bit about your story and how you found it works and all of that?
Yeah, okay, so actually Gabby had messaged me in April, and someone had gotten a hold of my phone and messaged her back for me, and I had no idea she even like really messaged me. And then I kept seeing her posts about the company, and then I was like, you know what, I'm going into college. I don't want to work a job at all, but I still need to make money because college is expensive, and it's just expensive to live like in college. So I messaged her, and my mom actually used to like know the market for Plexus. So she like I know like I knew like the stages of like what different like ruby and emerald like different stages, you know what I mean? And like and I knew about like teams and stuff because I used to hear my mom talk about it all the time. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna try it. So I messaged Gabby, and I mean, as soon as I messaged her, I was ready to start that day. So I didn't like.
You're a rarity.
Like there was no hesitation at all. I was like, you know what, I'm just doing this. Like $99. Like
I don't even think Kaylee asked like how much commission we made. She was just like, okay, I'm gonna do it.
yeah, I was like, I'm just gonna do that. You know what? If I make money off of it, great. If I don't, oh well. You know, it can't hurt to try. So I tried it, and now I am charted for executive, but I'm having trouble with some of my distributors right now. So we're trying to get that situated, and yeah. So I'm not making executive pay yet, but I'm getting there.
Yes. So when I remember your first, this is something that's really important that I know a lot of people need to hear. Your first week, I want to say you signed on like 5 or 6 LCs. Can you tell everybody like what did you do to do that?
I had a lot of family and friends who support me, and a lot of them were like, "What are you doing?" And I told them, and they're like, "Oh, that's awesome." Actually, my best friend was the first loyal customer I had, and she loved her products. Then I had like a few other people I used to go to high school with, and like some family members who wanted to do it. So they were eager to join.
That's awesome. Yeah, and that's why, whenever a lot of new distributors join, I mean, I felt the same way. You want to make a new Instagram because you're like embarrassed for your friends and family to see. And that's like the hardest part is I've had people not even sign up at all because they're like, oh no, I'm not posting on my own Instagram. Because it's hard, because you're like embarrassed. You don't want people to judge you. And it's crazy because sometimes your family and friends are like the first customers you have, and they're really encouraging. For me, my first customers weren't family and friends because mine weren't really supportive. My mom joined and like that's it. So none of my friends were like, yeah, let's buy products.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when you're in school and everything else and it's really busy, what does a normal day look like for you when you're working and putting an effort? I guess tell me whenever you sign a customer, what happens to build up to that? If you get what I'm saying.
Yes. Okay. So when I went to school, I'm not gonna lie, my first week was very hard to get adjusted. I mean, you even texted me, I was like, hey, what's going on? Because like it was just so much and so much to take in. It was like so hard to get adjusted to everything. And so I had to end up making a schedule, which you helped me with. And so Mondays are usually my busiest days. Like I do not stop on Mondays at all. I have like an 8:30, so I get up for that. But like there's an hour between, I have the 8:30, then I have the hour between my next class and that 8:30. And so I get done at 8:30 a little early, and I follow probably 20 people right before class starts. And I also I'm organized, so I write down everyone I follow.
Okay,
And
talk to us about that.
if they follow me back, I highlight their name.
Like me, Junior, over here.
So I do that, and then I don't message people until like after my second class. And once my second class is done, I'm done for the day with classes. So after my second class, I usually go to the gym, and then when I come back, I sit down right before homework and do my devotion for the day. And then I follow, I think on this past Monday, I followed 70 people, and I messaged 40, which is a lot for me because it's hard. Like when people do it full time, it's like, oh, I can message 200 people in a day and follow 500, and it's like I can't because I have school, So like that's a lot for me to get within a day. I usually try to keep it at those numbers for the week. If I can do more, great. If not, then at least meet those numbers. So yeah, and that's how I get my customers. When I talk to them, I usually like follow them, like some of their posts, comment on some of them, and then I'll send them a text and be like, hey girl, I've been looking at your posts. I think you're really pretty, and I think you'd be you'd be awesome for my team. If I do distributor, if I want a customer, I would be like, I think you'd be great for a product model spot. And they're like, what's that? And I tell them about everything. And I've had a lot of luck this week. I had a lot of potential. Just on Monday, I had 6 potentials on Monday. So that's
how important do you think it is to write down people's names? Would you say, like, for people that are starting out, like, being organized, especially if you're busy, is?
It's very important to write down their names because I forget, especially when I get their numbers, I forget whose number is in my phone because I should probably save your number, but I don't save it until I know that I'm going to talk to you more, if that makes sense, because it takes up space, first of all. And second of all, I'm not good at getting names. I'm just not. And sometimes on their Instagram, it's not on there. So it's like, I just never asked her name. I know it's terrible, but but it's very important to write down their names and their Instagram names just because it when I go through my feed, if I've written their name down, it sticks in my head that, hey, I followed you for it works.
Yeah.
So it's I need to like their posts so they see that I'm liking their stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Very true. And you said that you do devotional every day and you are big on self-development. Talk to me about how, when you're busy, do you feel like it's easy to get discouraged in this business, especially when you're new, and how do you cope with that?
I feel like it can be easy to get discouraged. I know, when I first sign on a loyal customer, it's hey, they're good for 3 months. I'm great. And then it's okay, when those 3 months are over, what am I going to do? And it's you have to constantly sign people on because when their 3 months is over, if they don't want to do it again, then you're not getting that money, So you have to sign people on.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why it's so important. And that's why you look at when people hit double and triple diamond and everything, they're still working, but they have this team under them, and sometimes we get people that don't catch the vision and they'd rather work a 9-to-5 job and make the same pay all year round and, stay in their little cubicle, and that's fine. And then you meet people that are, they have a passion and a drive and they have a really good reason why they need freedom. So I feel like, everybody's going to find somebody, and everybody needs to find somebody like you, because you're passionate from day one. So that's really awesome. So let's see what else that I want to ask you. I should write down these questions. No, we're going to have all time. Let's see here. What products do you use?
I use greens and coffee every day.
Do you use Keto coffee?
Yes.
Have you tried the chocolate greens in the Keto coffee?
No, but I did try almond milk and the coffee together, chocolate almond milk and the coffee together, and it was really good.
Really, really good. Yeah, I'll do
chocolate.
Yes, I'll do the Keto coffee with almond milk with chocolate greens. So it's like the same thing you're doing. I really like it like that.
I like it a lot, and so I have it at 8:30 on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and my teacher one day was like, Kaylee, like, why? I was the only one talking in class. She's like, why are you so energetic? And I was like, well, I would just take my greens. And so she's like, what is that? I got to tell her. So
that's awesome. So what advice would you give somebody that's new, that's in college? You know, if you could do something differently when you first started, what advice would you give them?
I would give them, don't get discouraged, because most girls come into this thinking I'm going to make 500 immediately, and it's not like that. Like, you have to work up to it. And I get asked all the time, like, sometimes I'm like, because I mean, I am in college, like, I'm new to this still, and so like I'm obviously not making what I want to yet, and I'm also in college, so therefore I'm broke all the time. So all my money goes to gas. So I tell my friends all the time, like, oh my gosh, I'm so broke. They're like, oh, I thought you did it works. I said, I do, but it's not where I want it yet, you know? Like, it's going to take time for me to get there. And it's just like with any business, you know, you have to work up to that point. And so I would tell them, don't get discouraged, because it does take time. And your paycheck will increase if you keep working, because my first paycheck was $20. And now, this past month, I didn't think I was commission qualified. And I woke up one morning, had a notification, it was $55. And I was like, thank you, Jesus, because I did not even think I was commission qualified. So awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool to look back. Like, when I first started and I had a $36 paycheck, and then see it like progressively get more and more and more. And it's really encouraging, you know, and staying positive through the whole thing. Like, I remember I could have been really negative about that and been like, are you kidding me? But, you know, I only had like 6 or 7 customers under me, so of course I'm only gonna get a $36 paycheck. So I was like, oh, that's gas money, cool. So what's your goal by the new year? What's your goal? So we can all like stay on your butt about it.
I really want to be Ruby, but I'm trying.
You really want to be what?
Ruby. But I'm trying.
Girl, you want to hit that by like next month.
I'm trying so hard.
Laura, knock some sense into her. What is she?
It's just like, honestly, I mean, I love talking to people. Like, I don't mean a stranger, but it like this, like I get discouraged. I mean, everyone gets discouraged sometimes, and like I get discouraged when people are like about to buy and everything, and then they're like, I've read reviews, I'm not doing that, or I've done this, I'm not doing that, and I'm like, okay, whatever, you know, like it's just like, you suck. Like, I just want you to buy.
You know what? The funny thing is, 2 things I always think about is, I was that person that like sat and read reviews about It Works and talked crap to blocked people and everything, and then here I am. This is me now. So, but those people, first of all, you don't want negative people on your team. Because I remember when I first joined, I wanted to sign up everybody and anybody. I didn't care if they were lazy. I didn't care if it was like my twice cousin removed that didn't even want to work. You know, and I had to learn, you don't want to sign up anybody. You want to sign up people that want it. So you don't want people anyways. So, you know, but following up is always crazy. You don't want to be annoying or anything, but like I said a million times, Naira followed up with me 5 times, and then I finally became a customer. I lost 20 pounds from the 4 months I used the It Works products, and I lost 10 pounds before that on my own, and then now I'm a distributor. So you never know what can happen. This is going to be kind of a different kind of Zoom, because I wanted it to be more of a learning experience too, because you're so new, and I feel like there's a lot of questions that you would ask me, I was just putting you on the spot, that you would ask me that some people maybe are like afraid or just won't ask. So do you have any questions, like things that you think are a struggle or hard for you this month?
I don't really. Okay, so when people are like, "Oh, I'm better at struggling. I'm better at signing on distributors than I am loyal customers, and vice versa," like I just struggle with signing anyone on at this point. It's just because I'm used to like I'm. Oh, I was like,
Motivation to get distributors to work. Yes, girl.
So like, but I know that like I pray to God every night. I'm like, you know what? If it's in your will, you know, it'll get done. So like, I guess a question would be like, how do you not get discouraged when you feel like no one wants to do this and it's hard to find those people? You know what I mean?
I think what I had to learn is sometimes I can speak that I trust God and that I'm not afraid, and then in my mind or my heart it's saying something different. So I had to really learn to completely like speak and think and believe that, you know, that God can totally do everything that we put our mind to, and if it's in his will, you know, and if it's without a selfish heart. I think I haven't read your captions in a while, so I don't know, but I think my captions have a lot to do with it too. Like writing your captions in such a way that they're so emotional that you're writing them with the intention of who can I speak to today in your captions. Like even if it's a product post, like who can I speak to? Who can I tug on, you know, their heart a little bit. And then, you know, just when you want to find people that want to work hard. And I know some people say they're going to, then they don't, but it's just kind of a trial and error kind of thing. And the cool thing is we get $100 bonus off of anyone we sign on, you know, as long as we get the customers under them. So what Nayara always told me is, you know, use them for that bonus, train them. If they don't take what you give them, don't waste your time on that and find somebody who wants it. So, but Laura said she wanted to add something.
Yes, this actually happened to me yesterday.
Did you tell me about this?
What?
Did you tell me about this last night? Or
no, I have not.
Okay.
I actually prayed to God. Like, I recently got saved this year, so like, I really have been struggling praying, and I told my dad the other night, I was like, I'm going to start praying for my business It Works and see how that goes. And so I started praying. I prayed the night before, and I prayed yesterday morning, and I said, God, just like bless this company, bless my distributors, and bring customers to us and bring distributors to us that actually want to work and want this extra money. And later on that day, I had a distributor that was placed under me. So that was just like a blessing in disguise. I was like, thank you, God. Like that was such a blessing in itself that like he answered my prayer and he brought he added someone new on my team. So
that's good.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I think that's why self-development is so important. And then realizing that you don't need to waste time on distributors that don't want it, because this is an amazing opportunity what we have to help men and women that honestly need freedom from finances, from insecurities, from stress, from, you know, not having enough time with their family or not being able to handle working in college like you. Like, you know, we have such an opportunity and we need to give it to people that actually want it and need it. So, you know, my problem for a while was that I was investing so much energy into people that didn't want it. And then it was making me so discouraged. I would like sit and cry about it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need to get over myself and like get over them. So, you know, I would say keep following up with people, and in your captions, make your captions really personal, like speak from the heart, and think whether it's a product model post, like for example, the product posts that I get the most customers off of are usually my personal results, which is sad. So before and afters, or your personal results. And then I talk about my story in the results. And I have a lot of customers where I have their story, or if you have a customer of your own as a story, you know, just telling the story of the person who used the product. And that is really, you know, or if you just know basics about that customer, like they're a mom and they're stressed, they don't have time for a gym membership, they don't have money to buy all this organic, really healthy food, they're busy. Sorry, I'm distracted by my phone. Yeah. So making your captions really, really personal, and then messaging whoever likes it to see if they want more info. That's when people say they're really good at signing distributors, it's really because their captions are the bomb.com, and then they'll message people. And, you know, that's usually how people are really good at signing distributors. It's just their captions being so relatable. So, yeah, that's basically that.
So how do you get motivation or get your distributors to be motivated to work? That makes sense.
I would say first and foremost, every time I put a customer under them, I tell them. Or, you know, every time I put a customer under one of your distributors, I would be like, oh my gosh, like our upline just put a customer under you and you're getting commission off that and you didn't have to do anything. Like, you know, just like encouraging them that way, like we're helping you even though you're new. You can't make somebody want it. That's the thing, is you can't make somebody want it. So just that's something I use, is I tell them I put a customer under them, or that, you know, your upline put a customer under, oh my gosh. Or definitely, like, I think one of the bigger things is it sucks. We all join because we need extra money. But if you're not using the products, or if your distributor's not using the products, then they're not going to be passionate about the products, because why would you promote something and be passionate about something that you don't use?
Yeah.
You know? So making sure they're using the products, telling them when they get a customer, sending them videos, or, you know, sending them, sometimes I'll send my distributors like free samples of the products too, just to be like, hey, I know you don't have money, but just think, you have to just put yourself in their shoes. And it's really hard because we all have different personalities. Just put yourself in their shoes, like, oh, how could I, you know, encourage this person if I was them in their situation? So yeah. And then I would say too is, it's awesome that you're trying to follow more people, because the more people that you follow every day. I was actually watching, there's a girl named Lindsay who's on Above Us, and she was talking about how she follows, when she has those days where she has more time, she'll follow 100 new people an hour, like per hour. And I thought, like, there's no way I could do that. But then I like would go to somebody's page that I follow, and I just go down, like whenever I have free time. So like, I guess it's possible, not every hour, but it's possible. And she said, you know, like, when you follow more people, you're making your network bigger. So, and then she'll keep things really, really simple when she's explaining the product. She said she loves sending voice messages describing the products and giving the pricing, because when you're talking about how much it costs and they're hearing it from your voice, they're more like, oh, like, you know. I had this one person yesterday that signed up for hair, skin, nails, and she was like, your voice is so cute. Oh my gosh, yeah, send me the link. And I'm like, okay. So they're like, you know, when you send voice messages, it's more personal. So she said, Lindsay signs like so many loyal customers every day, and literally, you know, she said all she does is she messages 9 people an hour, and then she follows 100 people an hour. And that's what she does. And then she creates a sense of urgency and she signs them on. So it's crazy. And she sat at Diamond for a whole year and was just content. And then she decided, like, hey, I want to start making more. And then she promoted to Double Diamond in it was like a 30-day period, and now she's trying to go triple this month. So
Dang.
Crazy. What do you do if a potential LC doesn't reply? If a potential well, first of all, I always get people's phone numbers, because then I can send them voice messages. So I get their phone number, and this is what I always say so that they kind of feel like they have to, which it works well for me because everyone knows I suck at replying back on time. Let's be real. So I'll message them on Instagram and be like, oh my gosh, girl, I suck at checking my DMs, and I'll use like the emoji that's like that. And I'll be like, what's your number so I can send you the link and you can check it out for yourself. Now, I'm not going to send them the link right away, but it works for me to get their number. Then I'll get their number, and if they don't reply back, or that I give them the link and they don't order, I'll text them and be like, hey, did everything go okay? Just a text. And then if they still don't order after that, I'll send a voice message the next day, and I'll be like, hey girl, oh my gosh, I am so stinking excited for you to grab a product model spot. I know we talked about how much you said you wanted to lose weight, and I still want you to have the discount. I just use that typical message that I give you guys. Like, I still want you to have the discount, but there's a lot of people that are going to want the spot. So if you don't want it, let me know so I can give it to somebody else. I know that kind of sounds like, but just creating that sense of urgency works. Voice messages usually work for me. And I'll say, like, I hope I'm not annoying you. And then they'll text me, like, oh my gosh, no, I forgot, you're not annoying me, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. So voice messages always work for me. And then after like a text and a voice message, I'll wait like 3 more days. And if they still haven't followed up, if they still haven't replied, I'll follow up one more time, and I'll send a before and after picture. And I'll be like, oh my gosh, I had to send this to you when I saw this. The results are phenomenal. Something like that. Like, not even like, are you ready to buy again? I'll just be like, oh my gosh, I had to send this to you. The results were like so phenomenal. Thought of you when I saw this, or something like that. Or another thing I do is I'll comment on one of their Instagram pictures. Like, oh my gosh, you look so pretty, just to get their attention. But yeah, that's how I follow up with people until they're ready to order. So we have 4 minutes and 30 seconds before our free Zoom runs out. So, anything else off the top of your head?
I don't have anything else.
Okay. Let's see here, Laura, anything else? Any other questions?
Not that I can think of right this second.
Okay, so I guess I guess we'll be done when we turn the recording off here.